Hi guys, I'm Dr. Kiana from Endara Naturals, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you 8 tips for finding a good natural hair stylist. If you guys enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments for me, leave them down below. And if you guys are interested in checking out our organic natural hair care products, you can find the links to those in the description box below. So, the first thing you want to do when you're looking for a good natural hair care stylist is find someone who specializes in natural hair care or curly hair care. There are a lot of stylists out there who can braid your hair or give you a silk press or a blowout, but not all of them are going to be concerned about your hair growth goals, the health of your hair, and just making sure that you have a great experience at the salon. So I know we've all been through horror stories of, going to an appointment and having the stylist damage your hair or getting a silk press and then having your hair not revert back to its natural state afterwards. So you want to find someone who explicitly states on their website or their profile that they are a natural hair care or curly hair care specialist. That's step one. Secondly, you want to always ask for a consultation. So most good stylists will give you a 15, 20, 30-minute consultation where you can come into the salon and just talk to them about what it is that you're looking for, have them assess your hair, your scalp, and tell you if you have any damage, what they think your hair might need. And that way you can kind of get a feel for whether you and the stylist have a good rapport. Are they patient with you? Are they listening to you, listening to your concerns, answering your questions, things like that? So I always recommend starting with a consultation before you go into your full appointment. Third, make sure that you ask about the salon's policies. So some salons have a lot of rules about what you can and can't do, what time you need to show up, if you can bring someone with you, can you bring food or whatever their policies are. So just make sure that you're asking at your consultation about what their policies are, and then also check their website because there may be more information there that they haven't shared with you. So just make sure that you familiarize yourself with what the stylist expects from you. And if there's anything in there that you don't agree with or think something that kind of looks funny to you, maybe this is not the salon for you. Number four is you want to ask about heat. So you want to know what your stylist philosophy is on heat use. Do they use high heat? Do they use low heat? Do they use a heat protectant? How often do they recommend that you use heat? Are they trying to preserve your hair texture, or are they using as much heat as they think is necessary to get your hair bone straight? So those are some questions that you want to be asking before your appointment, especially if you plan on getting a blowout or a silk press and you're concerned about getting heat damage. You want to talk to the stylist beforehand about what their thoughts are on how much heat is acceptable to use. Number five is you want to make sure that you check the stylist social media. So these days, most stylists have an Instagram page, a YouTube page. You can see photos of their clients. You can see video of them styling the client's hair. You want to be paying attention to whether they are working with multiple textures. Are they working with multiple hair types and hair textures? Or do all of their clients have the same hair type? Are they working with clients who have different hair lengths, different levels of damage? Do all of their clients walk away with the same haircut, the same hairstyle? And if that's not a style that you like, then maybe this isn't the stylist for you. So just get a feel for what their normal practices are, see some before and afters, and get an idea of what you can expect from the appointment. If you want a bone straight silk press and they're only doing suture and twist and twist outs, then maybe that's not the salon for you at that time. But just get an idea by looking at their social media of how they normally work. This is also a good place to see, again, if you're concerned about heat damage, this is a good place to see how they normally uh, blow out or press their client's hair. If you see that they're using very, very high heat, they're taking one piece of hair and going over and over and over it with a flat iron. Those are some risk factors for getting heat damage. So if you see that that's how the stylist normally practices, then you can probably expect to get heat damage when you go there. So just kind of get an idea of how they normally work by checking their social media pages. Number 6 is to ask for referrals, but make sure that you do your own research. So it's fine to ask friends, family members, or coworkers where they get their hair done or if they can recommend someone for you. But keep in mind that everyone's hair care goals are different. So if you're someone who is concerned about length, and you ask a friend who is mainly concerned about style, or they like to keep their hair in a short pixie cut, they're not worried about length, then their stylist might not be compatible with your goals. If you're worried about heat damage and you know someone who wears their hair straight 100% of the time, they may not be concerned about heat damage, and they may be fine with going to a stylist who uses very high heat. So just make sure that once you get those referrals, you still follow the other steps, check their website, check their social media pages, get a consultation so that you can make sure that this stylist is compatible with what you're looking for. Number 7 is don't get a trim on the first visit. So if your hair is very damaged and you know that you need a trim, you know that you need a major cut, it's fine to go ahead and get that on the first visit. But if you're just going in for regular maintenance, I always like to have the stylist go through a full wash and style session before I let them start cutting my hair. And that way I can get a better idea, because the consultation is going to be short. So during the full visit, you can get a better idea of whether you like their work, whether you think their thoughts and philosophies on trimming, hair care, hair maintenance kind of align with yours. You can talk about how much you would want to have cut off, and if they agree with that. Also, they will have a better idea of what your hair needs after they've gone through a full service with you. So I just recommend getting a full service first and then getting a trim on the next visit if you can wait that long. If your hair is badly damaged, then it may not be a good idea to wait until the second visit, but if you can wait, I would recommend that. And that way you and the stylist would be a little bit more comfortable with each other before they pull out the scissors. Now, number 8 is make sure that you speak up. So if you are getting a service and you don't like, if the stylist is shampooing your hair too roughly, or they're combing it too roughly, they're using too much heat, they're cutting more than you want, they're not styling it the way that you asked them to, you need to speak up. This is your hair. You're the one who has to live with it. If they damage it, you're the one who's going to have to spend the next year or two growing that damage out. So don't allow someone to butcher your hair and you just sit there and not say anything. I know that it can be very intimidating. They're professionals. You don't want to tell them how to do their job. But again, you're the one who's going to have to live with the results. So if something is not going the way you expect it, if it's not going the way that you want it to, make sure that you speak up during the service. And it's okay to leave before they're finished. It's okay to go home with wet hair and finish it yourself. I'd rather have you do that than to have your hair badly damaged, cut off all your progress, and then have to start over. So just make sure that you feel confident, and going through these steps will help you feel more confident speaking up. If you've done a consultation, you've done a first visit, and now you're on the second visit, you should have at least some level of comfort with the stylist. You should know that they understand what it is that you want. You've communicated with them and they've communicated with you. So that makes it a lot easier for you to speak up during your service and say, hey, we talked about only cutting this much. It looks like you're cutting more than that. Or we talked about my concerns about heat damage, and it looks like you're using a little more heat than I was expecting. You don't have to be confrontational, but it is important to speak up and let them know that things aren't going the way that you expected. So those are my tips for choosing a good natural hairstylist. If you have anything to add, if there's anything that I missed, make sure you comment below and we can discuss it. If you want to get in touch with me, you can email me at contact@indaranaturals.com. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.